Hey guys, this is a walkthrough of Earth Reborn Scenario 5. You can copy the map from the scenario book, however the character placement was decided based on these markers. So each team was given the 3 characters they have and then 3 decoys. Then starting with the Salamite players, it went 1 for 1, with the restrictions that the Salamite players could only place his characters indoors, alright, so on indoor spaces, whereas the NORAD was stuck placing their characters on outdoor spaces. So what's new to this scenario is that we're going to learn how to search, and what that is, that's the spyglass icon on the order tiles. And I'll be using these black dice here, and basically how it works is you roll the dice depending on your character's search ability, and then of course each additional command point spent on that will give you an extra die. The nothing of course is worth 0, and then it's just based on how many cards you see, so 2 search points, 3 search points if you look carefully, 3 cards, 3 search points, 3 search points, then a spy point. Now these 2 weird symbols, this one here means you can flip the deck, and this one here means you can shuffle the deck. You can do those in any order. A spy point can be used to look at the top 3 equipment cards and arrange them however you like, looking at both sides, or it can be used to give yourself 1 mission point, which will be our new scoring for this system. So we'll talk about that just a bit. So we will be using this to keep track of our scoring. The default, the NORAD is going to start at 5, the Salamite at 10, and it's going to be whoever can score the most points in 6 rounds, so 6 final phases. And you can do that by different ways. So looking at the Salamite objectives, they get points for launching the missiles, bringing up zombies, and killing NORAD characters, and using computers. And then the NORAD scores points by finding stuff. So for them, it's an intel mission. They're looking to gather intel from the Salamite headquarters, and they do that by searching in different rooms, technical science, and then officer sections. And they're looking for these specific pieces of equipment, and when they say retrieve, they mean to find it, and then to actually exit the map off any side with that equipment. So how do you do that? So on a search roll, you can spend 1 search point to pass the card that you're looking at, so to pass the top card and to put it on the bottom of the deck. So that would be 1 search point. That flip symbol right here is used to literally take the deck and turn it over. The shuffle symbol is used how it sounds, so you take the cards under the table and you can do whatever you like to them as long as you keep the orientation face up. So you can shuffle them, you can flip them over different ways, and then you bring it back up. So, and then the last thing you can use with search points, so you can use it to skip card, you can also use it to pick up the card you see, and the cost will be in the top right. So this torture kit would cost 2 search points to pick up. Now a spy point. So if you don't want to use it to give yourself a point for your team, what you can do is you can use it to look at the top 3 cards, and you can look at both sides of those cards and then arrange the cards however you like. Whether it means burying an equipment from your opponent or finding something that you actually want. So I've pulled out order tiles, and I'm just going to do a quick mix-up. This would normally be done under the table. A quick mix-up of this deck, and I'll give you the basic scenario here. So what happened is that it's the 1-year anniversary since the NORAD players stole the U.S. Constitution, and they're coming back here to try and just gather intel from the Salamite players. So they're doing an ambush to hopefully decrease their morale and to come out with some information. Now the Salamites weren't expecting this attack, and so they're going to score points by killing the NORADs and doing some pretty bad stuff, launching missiles, bringing back zombies, all that type of stuff. Okay, so I've mixed up this deck, flipping them and doing my best not to look at it, and so that's ready to go, and we'll get ready to start the game. So we'll start off with the Salamite side, and truthfully they don't have much in terms of weapons. What I do want to do though is I want to get Jeff Dealer to turn on these missiles because they're worth 10 points and they take 2 turns to launch. So that's really my main objective right now. And before I do anything like that, I'm going to turn on this gas mask. So I need an interact token, ideally one that's not high valued, so this one here will work. And I'll attach that to Jeff Dealer. So activating him, and I'll spend 1 command point here to turn on the gas mask, and that's just an automatic, there's no roll condition. So the gas mask is now on, and my next step will be to unleash this deadly virus to make it very difficult for any characters to enter this room, as they'll have to suffer the consequence of 2 damage. And that's it for Salamite. Now over on the NORAD side, and this is where things get interesting, what I'm going to try and do, looking at the board here, I'm going to try and get Vasquez some weapons. James Woo's over here to do technical searches, as the equipment can be found in 3 technical rooms. And Nick Bolter is near the office quarters over here to also do that same type of search. So I'm going to start with Vasquez, and we're going to see if we can't get some weapons. So I'm going to need something to break down that door, something to move, and then something to search would be ideal. Break down the door, move, and search. Okay, so it's not going to happen all in one turn, so we'll have to do it one at a time. The door has 4 damage, so let's get 2 combat. That'll be good. So activating Vasquez will attach this. 2 command points to combat, and so we have 1 here to give her 2, and then the additional one will give her 1 die. Her dark blue is facing the doorway, so we need a 2 on this die to break in. We only got a 1, and so she won't be breaking in this turn. I perhaps should have gone a bit bolder and used the 4 over here. Now, back over to the Salamite side. Jessica Hollister is in a room with both this gun symbol and the officer quarters. That's something I didn't explain. So when you're searching, you can only pick up an equipment that has has the corresponding room tile that you are in. So in the case of Jessica Hollister, she would be able to pick up this Kevlar armor because it has the gun symbol here, and the room she's standing in also has that symbol. So that's something very important that I failed to mention on that demo. So with her, we are going to be doing a search, and I think we'll just start off by taking that ammo, or that armor, sorry. So I'll attach that, I'll put 1 point on the search icon, and now I'll look at my character card and look at the corresponding search spot. So 4 search points to work with. So I don't get to roll any dice, but I do have 4 search points, and this Kevlar armor, frag, only costs 2. I'm in a room that allows me to pick it up, gun symbol, and so I'll do that, and that'll be the end of my turn. Now the weight on this is 2, which is within my limit, so I am able to pick this up without having to drop the toxic gas capsule, which isn't worth any. My new armor is 5, so what I'll do actually, I'll straight up attach this, because it's going to replace my armor value. Good turn for Jessica Hollister. Back over here on the NORAD side, Nick Bolter has to break through a door, and I think because Jessica Hollister has been activated right in front of James Woo here, I'm going to use this chance to activate him to try and get him to do a good search for what we're looking for, which, to give you an idea, I didn't read them, but jetpack, zombie serum, wiring plants, magnetic disruptors, secret files. So we'll give that a shot. So I've attached this to him, and I'll do 1 movement to move me into this building. And I'll stay near the exit just in case. And then I'm going to spend 4 on this search order. Now the cool thing about this room is that when you search in here, you're going to get an extra die. So, for searching, James Woo gives me 2. I have 3 extra on the search section, so that'll give me 3 more. And the room itself is going to give me 1. So I'll hopefully have a lot of points to work with here. Some that could be maybe some spy points to give me some mission points, and then maybe some search points to help me find what I'm looking for. Okay. 3, 6, 12, 15, 17. So a lot of power here. So let's do this. How many did I say? 17 points to work with, and then a few fancy things I can do. So let's start off just by digging. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm passing over all this really neat stuff because what I'm looking for are the things that will actually get me points. Okay, so these are really cool things, but you have to remember the rule I'm in. It's a technical room, so these things won't help me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This snow symbol, by the way, means it can be picked up in any room, but it's not a very good gun. So now that I've reached 8, I'm just below my halfway point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this flip ability. I'm going to turn all the cards over. I'm going to see what was on their back. So zombie serum, that's actually something I need. I'm not in the right room for it, but I can get to the right room. So let's have a look at how many points that would give me. So zombie serum would give me 5 points. I could also keep going to try and get this, but honestly, do I leave that up? So the problem is if I bury it, honestly knowing where it is good enough. 9. Here's another thing I need, the secret files. So I know where all of these are now. 10. And the jetpack. So here's one that I can actually grab. It has the right symbol. And so I will take that for 2 command points. And that'll be 12. And because I chose a card, I don't get to use. The rest of my search points are lost. And so I'll attach this to James Wu. It'll cost him a weight of 2. So I do know where 2 things are. They're directly under there. And that's the end of his turn. So a very good turn for James Wu. So left we have John Kendall, who we're trying to activate. And what do we have over here? Okay, right. So his item he's holding is a laptop, which is a one-time use per round, but it gives 4 points. And so that's what we're going to use right now. So we're going to use an interact. Let's go with this one. So activating John Kendall, and we're going to interact with this computer here. So we'll spend 3 command points. And I spend 1 command point, and this is considered use. That's what the turn the card means, activate the card. Then I make a science plus engineering or science plus technical roll. So that gives me 5 dice, 6, 7 dice for the extra. And then actually in this room, anytime you do anything science, you get 2 more dice. So I'd have 9 to work with here to get 9 damage. So here we go. So here comes the first 6. We're looking for 9 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I get 3 more to try and get 9. Beauty. 8, 9, 10. So this did work, and I'll give the Salamite side those 4 mission points. Now again, that's a one-time use, but a very powerful one. So well worth using up John Kendall's command points. Okay, over to Nick Bolter. He's facing this doorway, and we want to break in. And we also know where a few cards are, so ideally if we could flip the deck and use spy points to access them, that would be good. We know we can reach that there's some in the office quarters. We know that there's some in the science room as well. So here we go. We're going to try and bust open this door, and we'll play it safe this time and use much higher close combat. So activating Nick Bolter, attaching this order tile, and let's do all 4. Let's be very safe. Let's do all 4 on this order section. So my close combat will be 2 plus the 3 extra. 2 plus the 3 extra, so put me at 5. And that's because my dark blue arc is facing this doorway, and I'll have to do 4 damage to break it open. So plenty of damage. These are worth 3, right? So just 10 damage. So this doorway isn't blocking anything, so I'll just remove it from the game. Now, up next, I'm going to try and move Nick a bit. So we'll spend 1 on movement, which in his case gives me 5 per command point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and opening the door is useless because it'll close in a second. So I would like to open it on 5, but because that'll end my turn, it immediately closes. Okay, so that's it for the NORAD. Now coming back over here to the Salamite. So now on the Salamite side, I actually don't like that the NORADs know where the things they are looking for can be found. So what I'm going to do is Jessica Hollister is going to search. And she's going to try and find a weapon, and she's going to hopefully be able to mix up the cards on this against the NORAD players. So spending 2 on search. Her search value is 4 automatic search points. Then the additional one will give us 1 die, which she's hoping will be a shuffle. So that's this symbol here. Not quite. She has the flip the deck, which which isn't terrible actually. She will do it because I believe there's guns on this backside, and she's in the armory, so she'll be able to access those. Yeah, so some good guns, and she has 4 search points to work with. I can't remember the exact order of what I saw. I'm not gonna risk skipping this. I'll actually use my 4 search points and pick this up. And I'd say it's the right call. So there's a smoke grenade on top, but I'll say this is the right call. That wasn't bad. So she's now holding this, and that's how she spent her search, so she's done. On the NORAD side, I think I'm going to continue with Nick Bolter, and now that that deck's flipped, as long as I can get spy points, I can find the cards that I want to find, so I'm just going to get in here and do a good search. 5, I've spent 5, so I'm only allowed to spend 2 more. It's a waste of a search, isn't it? It's got to be done. Okay, so 1 on movement, which in his case gives me 5. So 1 to open this door, 2 to step in. Now because this is a double door, I could also walk through here technically, okay? And I'll stop moving there, and I'll actually turn around like this. So there, 1 to open the door, 2 to step in, ending my movement. I'm going to spend my last command point that Nick Bolter can handle before crossing his limit on a search order. And for him, that gives me 2 dice, so I'm hoping to get a spy point and some good search. So I have the flip a deck again, that's actually what I'm going to have to do. The reason for it is that I've seen the cards on this side, and I know what this face side looks like, so that doesn't help me. So I'll use the flip right away. And then I'll use my 3 spy points to get down here. So 1, a chainsaw, pretty cool. I can't pick it up though, not in either of those rooms. 2, we have the shotgun, which believe it or not can be found in a bedroom. So what I'm going to do for my 3rd point, my 3rd card, that's actually enough to pick this up, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm taking the shotgun. And it's a good thing too, because I wouldn't have been able to pick up this one anyways. So Nick Bolter is now holding a shotgun and is ready for war if it comes down to it. And because that'll end his turn, we'll close this door again. Alright, over to the NORAD side. It's Jess Hollister can still take a lot more command points, so she's going to try and shoot Wu while he can't react. So she now has a gun and a high defensive value, so she has a huge advantage. So we're just looking for movement and shoot, and that's what we have here. So we'll attach this order tile, and actually, we won't. I will reactivate Jessica Hollister, but I'll use what I already have here. So I'll do 1 on this movement, which in her case gives me 5. So 1 to open this door because she is holding the key card. 2 to step through it. And I'm actually going to do 3 to close it. Now I did enter James Wu's line of sight, but as I said before, he's already hit his max command points, so he won't be able to react to any of this. 1 to open it, 2 to walk through, 3 to close it, and then 4 I'll step beside him here. Now, I'm going to use my last 2 command points. Alright, you know what? I'm going to use 1 command point on a shoot order. We'll do this one at a time. So I check the targeting. Jessica Hollister gives me 2 dice. My gun I'm using also gives me 2 dice. So I have 4 dice, and I need to get 1 space because we're side by side. So I did. It was risky for me to roll 4 because had I rolled that out of ammo symbol, my gun would take a wound and would need to be reloaded before I could use my next shoot order. But nonetheless, I made it, and now I'm going to get 2 dice to roll to go up against his armor. So 2 dice. Here we go. So we got 2 up against James Wu's armor of 3 is not enough to do the damage. Back over to the NORAD's turn. Vasquez is still able to move, but she needs to break down the door, so that won't be possible this turn. Um, that won't be possible with one die, no. Okay, so unfortunately for the NORAD side, we're going to be using these to draw hopefully some better tiles. So here goes usage 1. And still not a high close combat, unfortunately. Over here we're going to use another command point to take another, let's do a stab, to take a stab at James Wu with Jessica Hollister. Now the difference against the stab in the dice is that the stab here we have 2 automatic hits added from this gun here, and then we're going to get 1 additional die because he's in the dark blue. So it's not going to be enough, and then we're still going to roll for James Wu because he's going to get to add 1 dice to his 3 defensive bonus, and it's possible he gets a critical hit and hurts us. Luckily not. So that was a silly move, but I just wanted to try it. Over here we're going to spend another command point to draw another order tile. High close combat 2, which wasn't good enough last time, but I think we'll try it again. If we can. Okay, over here. She's maxed out. John Kendall has used his laptop, and honestly that's what he's best for. We won't do a search or anything like that. I think we're also going to be... Oh no! Jeff Dealer is in a good spot. If I could just get the right search order. I totally forgot what I wanted to do with him. I want to unleash this deadly virus, so I need an interact order. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So I'll spend 1 command point and hope for a good interact. No luck. Over here on the NORAD side, rather than continuing to draw tiles, I'm going to take a chance on this close combat with Vasquez. So I'll activate her. 2 command points on the close combat order section. So that'll give me 2 because her dark blue section is facing this doorway. And then the additional 1 will give me 1 more die. So I need 2 damage on this dice to break this door. And we did it. Good. So this door, it's not blocking anything, so we'll just remove it from the game. And Vasquez can now walk into there, no problem, and start searching for a weapon. So over here, we're still looking for an interact, so I'm going to spend another command point to hopefully get an interact from this bag. 1. I don't think that'll be good enough. No way. Okay, so that's still not good enough. On the NORAD side, they're out of command points, so they'll pass. Salamites will draw again, hoping for an interact. And they got a great one, but I'll have to wait till next round, so I'll spend this command point. NORAD passes. Salamite draws again. NORAD passes. Salamite draws 1 last time. That's good for close combat. I'm very interested in the interact though with the Salamites because the laptop, the missile over there, the virus we're trying to launch. So that's really my main thing with the Salamite players. Regardless, that's the end of the round, so both players will have passed. And all I will do is I'll bump this up to the 2, and I'll bring you guys right back for round 2 after I refresh everything and decide which order tiles are and aren't worth keeping.